everyone, this is Darwell20, and welcome to episode 47 of Darwell20's Satisfactory Let's Play series, where I think I'm good to research supercomputers. Yes. Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Hooray! That's cool. We did the thing. Now, I'm going to snag some extra computers here, because I just, used them all up. And high-speed connectors might not be a bad thing to hang on to a little extra of. Yeah, I'm going to snag some extra plastics as well. Sure, why not? So, between episodes, I've just been kind of poking around in the MAM here to see what kind of tech tree stuff I get. So Mark III power poles is totally a thing I can research now. That only takes 6 minutes. I could knock that out real quick. Yeah? And then what we just learned how to make by unlocking supercomputers is the geothermal generator. So this is actually another way of generating power. And if memory serves correctly, it's pretty passive. Like, you just slop it down on a scannable geothermal resource, geyser, and boom, it makes power. And that's it. So having a little extra power gen would not be a terrible thing. Even though we're in the nuclear age, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have some extra power generation. So I might want to check that out. Gonna need just some more things, so nothing too crazy there. I do need to get 50 supercomputers, but that shouldn't be a problem, considering that we have already backstuffed supercomputers, which is super. See what I did there? See what I did there? Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. Let's look into that, right? And then just some heavy dude and some rubber. Just some heavy dudes and some rubber. We can do that. We can do that. I'm just going to snag rubber from here because there's 200 sitting there. And that shouldn't be a big deal to get more of. And you know what? I'm going to snag a little extra rubber here too. And I'm going to put these extra 149 in there just so I have a nice even number of rubber. Okay. And then what else did I need? The heavy frame dudes, which should be in here. So I'm going to make sure that I've got enough. And I'm going to kick off that plutonium research. So what else is in here? So we've got this guy for 6 minutes. We've got this guy for 8 minutes. We've also got the programmable splitter, which I think is just a fancier upgrade to the splitter. What else is in here that we would actually want? I don't think much. The radar technology, I don't know that that's all that useful. I think that's it. I think the only remaining researches are under there, and obviously hard drives, right? So yeah, let's kick off geothermal, because why not? Boom. 8 minutes from now, we should be able to see what geothermal generators look like. In the meantime, we've got this guy up here, ready to roll. He's cooking in. Cooking. We're getting awfully close. I think we're at 44, is that right, of those fused dudes? Yes, 44. So we just need 6 more. So it's not going to be long now, folks. It will not be long now. I don't need those screws on me. I never do. What I might do is spend a few minutes. I'm going to fly around and make sure I've got all the resources I might want. So I'll come back in a minute once I've done that. And we've got those handful more things so that we can unlock the final milestone. The final milestone, which will be particle enrichment. All right. Back in a moment to take a look at that fun stuff. All right, check it out. Boom. We literally have one more than we need. That means we're ready to unlock the final thing. So let's go do that, shall we? I did get all the stuff that I need to resource-wise. What I did find, though, is that copper tubing is getting a little bit low. We are not producing enough copper tubing, so that might be something we need to look into. But let's get this sorted first. Sound good? Perfection. Perfection. Launch. And I don't think I need the rebar gun.
Milestone reached. The particle accelerator enables previously impossible processes, such as recycling nuclear waste and converting it into plutonium, as well as the generation of exotic matter. A new project part enables progress to the next phase.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so nitric acid is a thing. Non-fissile uranium, plutonium encased plutonium cell, plutonium fuel rods, and particle accelerators. So we should look into this and figure out what's up, right? So first off, particle accelerators, right? So that's a new building. That looks super cool. It doesn't look terrible in terms of resources, but it does need a lot. It does need a lot. The fix-it particle accelerator uses electromagnetic fields to propel high particles to a very high speed and energies. The specific design allows for a variety of processes such as matter generation and conversion. Warning, power usage is extremely high, unstable, and varies per recipe. Good to note. All right, so let's take a look at plutonium. Encased plutonium cell or plutonium fuel rods are encased plutonium cells. We need 30 of them per rod. Okay. Use this fuel for the nuclear power plant. Produces radioactive plutonium waste when consumed. Warning, highly radioactive. Okay. We're going to need heat sinks, electromagnetic control rods, and steel beams in order to make all these things. Okay. And yeah, that's going to be a hefty amount. Now, the encased plutonium cells themselves are just plutonium pellets and concrete, which isn't that big a deal. Not that big a deal. And then finally, plutonium pellets are 100 non-fissilable uranium with uranium waste. So non-fissilable uranium is uranium waste silicon, maybe? Silica, yeah. Nitric acid, okay. And sulfuric acid. Right. And then nitric acid, standard recipe is, it looks like nitrogen gas, water, and some iron plates. Okay. So nitric acid, not bad. Nitric acid, not bad. We're going to have to find quartz up there. But everything else is already up there, right? And then you're going to have to put water, but we can figure out a use for that, or we can just void it. But I'm sure we could add that to the power plant water thing. So yeah, if we found quartz up by our uranium thing, this would be easily doable. And then the only other trick would be, so then you take a bunch of non-fissilable uranium and uranium waste. That's the particle accelerator recipe, by the way. Right, non-fissile is made in uranium. And then plutonium pellets themselves are made in the particle accelerator. These are made in assembler. And these are made in a manufacturer. So the real trick will be getting heat sinks and steel beams. We might be able to get steel beams, because we did make steel up there, didn't we? And I think we're not even going anywhere near the amount of steel we could be making. So we could easily amp up our steel beam production. The main thing will be getting heat sinks out there, which we could totally fly out there with a drone if we wanted to. Right? Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. And geothermal generators are complete. How cool is that? Hooray! Geothermal generator. Sweet. So in the Caterium tree, I'm going to go ahead and kick this dude off. Power poles Mark III. Just because I can. And then let's check out power production. Geothermal generators. Has to be built on a geyser, generates power. Caution, power production fluctuates. Power production impure will be anywhere from 50 to 150, but on average around 100. Normal will be average around 200, and pure will be average around 400. Let's see if there are any geothermal geysers nearby. Where would one be, pray tell? Geothermal geyser. Because this is basically free energy. Like, you plop the thing down on the geothermal plant, and you're done. Alright, so there's one a decent ways away over here, which is like halfway to the oil train station. I gotta imagine there's more somewhere, right? Oh, there's another one way up here. Couple, it looks like. Way up in the north that I haven't been to yet. Okay. That's neat. So part of me wants to just go, well, I don't know that we need geothermal happening right now, because we have plenty of power. I feel like hooking up geothermal power isn't going to do anything for us. So let's go see if there's, well, there should be quartz, right? We should be able to get quartz over to that thing relatively easily. So let's go expand the area that's up there and see what we can't get by way of start working towards the fissilable stuff with plutonium. Now, plutonium fuel rods, I think, are awesome sinkable. Which, so basically, if you want to just get rid of the nuclear waste, you can. Or you can turn it into more power, which, you know, considering power plants no longer throttle themselves, that sounds like a good plan, right? We can just turn them into power, and they'll always burn through it. It just depends how long those plutonium fuel rods will last inside the thing. But I'm very interested to see how whatchamacallit will look, right? Because that should be pretty cool. Very interested in seeing that, how particle accelerators will look. So let's head up that way. Let's start planning for where this is going to work out, right? All right, we're here, and the amount of walking around that I'm doing now has led me to make a decision. I might add a teleporter mod that lets you just place blocks that you can teleport between. I think I'm going to do that, but we'll do that for next episode. Deal? So out here, right, what do we have already up and running? So we've got you. We got so many uraniums and stuff here. So we do have lots of steel beams coming in. And our steel beam production is already throttled to a decent amount. So we don't have to worry too much about that. But I think what we want to do, the main thing we want out of this area is the concrete, the steel beams. We want to check if there's any quartz nearby. And I know there's some right up there, but I'm going to see if there's another one closer. Look at all the radiation. So that's the quartz that we're already mining. And there is another one that's like equally as far away, but is what I say to that. So that's fine. Can I find a spot to stand that's not radioactive for a minute? Just so I can look at recipes without wasting my hazmat suit durability. Right, so plutonium pellets. Encased plutonium cells need concrete. Fuel rods just need the heat sinks to be... So we'll bring heat sinks over here from the main base. We have steel beams here. We'll use the electromagnetic control rods, which we'll obviously need to increase the production of because what we're currently producing will not be sufficient. And then the encased plutonium cell, right? Which is an assembly recipe. Plutonium pellets is this, right? In the particle accelerator. And this is a blender recipe. So I think step one will be nitric acid. So we'll take the existing sulfuric acid, which we're producing, which hopefully we have enough of. And if not, I'm sure we can ramp up the production of. Add it to the to make the nitric acid, right? So we just need water, which we have up here. Kind of. Yeah, we do, right? So plutonium pellets will be this guy. So it's going to be uranium waste, silica, which is what we need the quartz for. And then the nitric acid, which is nitrogen. So we're going to actually have to get nitrogen over here, too. We could fly... I don't think we can have two. So is there a nitrogen gas nearby? If we're lucky, there is, but I doubt it. I doubt there's a nitrogen gas nearby. There is one about 1,000 meters away. So, I mean, that's not great. Not terrible. There is one over there. There is one over there. There's obviously this nitrogen here, and there's that one there, but there's one all the way up here. But 1,000 meters is still a long way. So we're going to have to get nitrogen up here too, huh? It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. All right, I think what I'd like to do is real quick explore that nitrogen vein over there. Because it's far, but it's not that far. Like, yeah, it's far. But I want to see if it's, like, up there far or down at this level far. See, we're already halfway there. That ain't that bad, right? And hey, we're exploring new areas, so not the end of the world. This isn't too bad. I might be able to run a nitrogen pipeline all the way over here. Because that would be the main resource that would be a little bit of a hassle to get over here. The rest of it wouldn't be too bad, but this would probably be the main one. There's a nitrogen vein over here. Is it like way up top here? It might be, or it might be underneath. But I'm going to start with going up, and then it's easier to get down than it is to get up. Turn into a little bit of an exploration episode. I'm keeping my eye open for, hey, there we go. There it is. Nitrogen vein. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right there. Big old vein. Doesn't have as many gas nodes. But they're pure, so that's cool. It might have as many gas nodes. I can't tell if it's as many. But it's definitely here, right? So we could definitely run like a pipeline. Like 1,000 meters isn't that bad, right? Over to our nuclear area. Run the pipeline. And a couple commenters said that you don't need head lift pumps for nitrogen gas. So I don't know if that's true or not. Oh, I really wanted to look up details about that thing, and that didn't work out as well as I thought it would. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe we can get the nitrogen over there, because that's not so bad. Maybe. All right, so we've got the resource well pressurizer. I had the resources to build that. That said, I don't know if I'm going to have the resources to build much else, but we'll figure it out, right? So I'm going to disconnect you for a minute because I want to be here when it kicks on, right? Resource well extractor. Do I have the stuff for that? Must be placed on an activated satellite node. So the fact that, even though I placed it, the fact that it's not powered yet is going to be all grumpy pants. How much power do you need? 150 megawatts. Okay. Okay. Is there geothermal power nearby? Just for fun. Is there geothermal power nearby by chance? Probably not. Not close enough, it would seem. Just curious if there is any up here. Bupkis. Bupkis. I just wanted to place down the pressure, the thing. Yeah, really far away. Based on the time it took for that to happen, I would say really far away. Yeah, annoying that I can't place you until you're activated. 150 megawatts is a lot for me to go biofuel. If I wanted to, like, temporarily get it up and running, you know what I mean? But what we could do is we could simulate what it would be like with a pipeline support here. And I can just run this pipeline support. Now what I'll probably want to do is use Mark IV pipelines to get across there. Now what are the chances that I'll actually be able to pull this off? Slim to none. Because we basically have to go over here. I don't know if I'll be able to, but what I could probably do... The player is in the way. I'm sure he is. Silly player. We could 100% kind of skybridge this across. And we could tap this power line. Right? Oh boy, that's a ball. We're fine. One more, please. Right? And then realistically heading over there. So then from here, we shouldn't have a problem building a platform out this way. Because look, you can see the smoke from my nuclear power plants. So realistically, just, you know, build it like this. And then right along here, basically. And we go as far as we can. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of copper tubing. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. We'll just have to get more. Cool. So this kind of works. And then we'll just have to figure out like what kind of staircasey kind of downwards direction we can go from here to get this thing to look nice, you know, leading downwards. So it's not the end of the world. It would be the same concept as if we made a fluid Skytram, but like, I feel like this is just as good. Because we're not going that far. Realistically. And I'm doing Mark II pipelines because I just suspect that that's what we're going to wind up needing in the end. I don't know how much nitrogen gas we're going to need, but probably a healthy amount. Alright, yeah, we're definitely out of the copper piping now. So let's try to see how this is going to play out. Okay. Invalid aim location. So we're a little ways off. I'm going to at least finish out this construction. How's this look? Not too bad. A little bit of radiation now, which we'll deal with. That kind of works. Yeah, I mean it's not glorious, but I mean it works. All right, so with that covered now, step one, we're going to definitely need more copper tubes, which we might need to ramp up production on. And number two, I definitely want to install the teleporter mod, because it would be cool if there was, and there is, but it's a mod, a block that I could just walk up to and teleport back to my base from. So that way I don't have to keep running back and forth from base to base. I feel like that would be cool. Because, I mean, I wind up cutting this segment out anyway, right? So we'll be back in a minute when I run back to the base. Me being able to teleport to the base would mean I wouldn't have to say I'll be back in a minute, which is realistically like 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, so you'll observe that I I'm definitely low on copper sheets. Quite low. So we should look at ramping this up. So what's involved in making a Mark III miner? We're going to need more of those dudes and motors, right? So coolers and motors is what I'm going to need. So let's visit our motor maker. And what I'm basically planning to do, let's get you equipped. Let's get some turbo motors and get some cooling systems. That should be cool. You know what, while I'm here, let's get some more rubber. Why not? Not a bad idea to have a few more pieces of rubber. You know what, I should probably have even more of that. Only because I used so much of it for that setup, right? And we're definitely going to need some of these, by the way. So let's get those cooking too. Just to have everything I'm going to need, right? Not a bad plan. While I'm here, probably a good idea to restock on a lot of this stuff. I don't think I did this on my last restocking pass, and that's a good plan. Okay, so let's see. Do I have the stuff to make a Mark III miner now? I do, if you don't count the 3 miners that we're going to need. So not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is this guy currently, I think, has 3 overclockers in him, right? So he's doing, or he has 1 overclocker. Okay, so he's doing 180 parts per minute. We're going to dismantle him. We're gonna make a equipment workshop. We're gonna make another portable miner, and then we're gonna throw down the Mark III miner. Now, just as an FYI, in case you guys weren't aware of this, you can totally place a miner on top of foundations. Look at that, right there. Boom. How cool. Did you know that? Sneaky little trick, right? So that's 240 out of the gate without an overclocker, which is cool, right? 240 out of the gate without an overclocker, which is pretty cool. Right, so we had 180 before, so that's an extra 60. Right, on top of what we already had. Sweet. So if we have 60 more, then what we could do is basically replicate this, where we had 3 more of these going on. Yes? And a couple more of these going on. And a couple more of these going on. So copper and copper. Right? That should be cool. Upgrade this dude. Well, that is not at all what I meant to do. Cool. And you guys are going to be copper sheets times 1, 2, 3. And then you guys... do that. And then you guys... see how great Smart is? See how gorgeous it is? It's like it's the coolest mod, y'all. It's the coolest. You see how great and easy that was to expand? Like, that really worked out quite well. Now, it'll take a few minutes for these guys to start backstuffing their copper, and that's okay, but they'll get there. Like, basically what will happen, we wait for this to backstuff copper, then we wait for this to backstuff copper, right? But this is your extra 30 and 30, so that's, remember, we got 60 more from this. And these guys should all be outputting their copper sheets directly into this dude, and that adds 30 more copper sheets per minute, which is hopefully enough. And if it's not, for what we need, right? So, like, let's math out how many we're getting, right? So it's 10, 20, 30. I'm just making sure there's no overclockers in any of these. 40, 50, 60, 70. Is that right? 70 copper sheets per minute. And then let's validate how many copper sheets we need per minute over here. Right? So I know we've got 70 coming in. Right? And it might take a while for everything to back stuff, so I'm going to have to let the game run for a few minutes. But you're doing okay, you're doing, okay. So that's more than 70 right there. But then we also have copper sheets happening down here, which is 37.5. So yeah, we're sitting pretty close to like 120. So we need a lot more copper sheets. A lot more copper sheets. Right? Because you're going to start, you know, choking on electromagnetic control rods, which is going to be a problem, because remember, we definitely need more of those for our plutonium processing section. So we're really going to have to ramp up copper sheet production. So you know what we could do? We will probably want to maybe overclock this dude, or look to see if there's another copper vein nearby, but I don't know that there is. Not particularly close. I think there's one. Is there one over there that I'm already tapped into? Was that copper? It was. And then there's one over there that's 470 meters away. That's not terrible. Or we could just overclock this dude with, like, you know, 1 or 2 overclockers, and that would probably be good. Speaking of overclockers, you know what I'm going to do next episode? You might have noticed I had like 30 overclockers, and then I had like 5. And I don't know if I ever explained where they went. I overclocked my oil power plants because I was hurting for power many episodes back. So I should go get those now because we're not hurting for power anymore. I can remove the overclockers. So let's wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time, amp up copper production because we need to. And then we'll also get back our overclockers. And then we'll start working more towards getting the nitrogen over to the base for nuclear processing so we can handle the nuclear waste, turn it into plutonium, and decide how we're going to handle that whole shebang. All right, for now, though, it's wrapping up point, so Dial 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.